welcome to the Late Night Knits podcast with me, Alex. So today is bats to hats. So I'm going to be doing a few little videos that are just bats to hats related, basically, where I've either got a fleece and I'm showing you how to process it, or maybe I'll show you a tip or a trick that's helped me with woolen spun spinning. I'm by no means an expert, so if you have a way of doing it that's different, feel free to comment below, and sort of share with the other people in the Spinalong knit along. I expect a lot of people will be doing the Tour de Fleece, which is every day of the Tour de France people spin, or I think that fluff to stuff thing, can't remember if it's over now, but some people have been doing that. But yeah, bats to hats. So if you've seen my Instagram posts recently, I've been talking a lot about this Jacob's fleece that I got. It's Warwickshire fleece from a local national trust, and I'm really glad I've got this fleece, and it's really nice, and actually it's so, you get so much wool off one fleece, it's mad. But yeah, it's very Cruella de Vil. It kind of reminds me of the pigeon's nest. There's this woman who is on Instagram and she does crochet, and actually I've reminded myself actually, yeah, I might talk more about her later, but she does like Instagram posts and reels of her dressed up in sort of wool related outfits, and she's Cruella de Vil in one of them, and I think she's got some sort of wool as a wig, and it's really crazy. But yeah, this Jacob sheet reminds me of that. And yeah, so I know it's not a bats, but I have been making these rolags, so you get the woolen spun effect. And I'm kind of thinking, if you have rolags from a carder, then you can probably spin along too. I think that'd be alright. But yeah, this is the problem with having tactile things, isn't it? You get distracted, but I really like the white shines really nicely in this, and actually I'm so happy with this rolag. I've done a little video of how to make quite a nice rolag coming off the hand carder. If you've got a blending board, you probably have to have a bigger tool to do it, but I was going to try and do some self-striping rolags, so like half of it's black, half of it's white, and then as you spin along. But then if I two-ply it, will I be able to exactly replicate that rolag so that it is a two-ply self-striping? Because I do like a core spin. Actually, if I core spin it, then I could keep the striping more easily and be more in control of that than maybe if I was plying it. I'll have a think about that. Anyway, yeah, I really like these, and the colours of these Jacobs are just really lovely. And lucky Lammy, now it's a little bit orangey because some of it had raddle on it, and it hadn't quite washed out, but that's why I was using it, because I thought, oh, it'll probably wash out and I'll just use that for me. Yeah, I've just done a little mitered square, but it's a really nice effect going along with these stripes. I'm going to insert some pictures because it always goes fuzzy on this. But yeah, I think that's all I have for today. I might film myself doing a bit of spinning, but I very cleverly hid that white backboard behind his sewing machine table, just there. So if I want to do a nice spinning, I might have to find a wall that's white somewhere and a good lighting. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. Yeah, so if you're on Instagram following hashtag #battstohats, then put up some pictures of ideas of what you want to spin up and maybe what hats you're going to do. I've got this hat that I really like. I think it's so cute. My sister got it me ages ago from, oh yeah, Yeti Clothing Co. And I was thinking I might like archaeologize it. Is that something you'd be interested in? Like reading the knitting and breaking down a pattern to see how you could make it up again? Because I love this, but I'd love to knit it myself. And you can see like these V's are upside down and these V's are the right way up, so they must have increased knitting it like up and then sewn it and folded it over and sewn it there, and then it's knitted up. So, do you know what I mean? That part's down. And then this, you can tell there's a bump where they picked up the stitches. And it's got pom-poms. So that'd be quite a fun one to replicate. This is such a warm hat. It's got an inside. I'm not sure how good I'd be at doing an inside like that, but actually this looks quite simple. My head's so big. Anyway, yeah. So that's maybe a project, but I'm not sure I'll have time for that with all the battstohatskal stuff going on. But I might pick a fleece at the weekend and be able to show you a video then. I have picked a few, but I actually have 30 kilos of Jacob's fleece. Some of it's going for yarn, but I have to store it for a month. If any of you have any tips on how to store fleece, all I've done is put it in black bin bags and kept it in a shady place, but I think that'll keep the moths away. But if there are any mice around, that might be an issue. In a shed situation, not in my house. But yeah, well, shrews. Have you ever had shrews in the house? They can get through like a tiny little gap, but at least I don't think they eat wool. Well, I suppose they could nest in it. I mean, I'd nest in this if I were a mouse or a shrew. It would be a very shrewd thing to do. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. Oh, my chicken ate some wool the other day that was out in the garden. I don't think that's good for them. Do any of you have any chickens that have eaten wool? I must have had some. I think I had some daffodil dyed wool the other day, and she'd eaten about an inch of it before I even realised. Oh, what are you doing? I had to pull it back out of my mouth. But it's wool. I think I've probably fed her pasta spaghetti too many. She really likes spaghetti. I don't give it her that often, but she knows what carbs are. Oh, she's so spoiled. I leave her out a little bit of food with some red mite powder on it, and that's a diatomaceous powder, and that just desiccates any red mites on her, but it's also a good wormer if it's in the food. The red mite powder, it's a bit like talcum powder, but you shush it up there like feathers a bit, or put it in the nesting box, and then they sit and that'll kill any red mites. She hasn't got red mites, but I do worry a bit when it's sunny because she has had them before, but I usually keep on top of it, have a little look. And if she stops laying, then that's usually can be a sign of red mites. But it's quite a common chicken problem. But there's this little robin that comes down and eats her food sometimes, and I just think, oh, you're eating layers pellets, a natural wormer in the red mite powder, possibly kicking up some red mite powder dust. So I think the robins in the garden, the cheeky ones, they've probably got some good eggs. Good eggs this year. Like, my eggs are so strong, I'll steal more of that chicken's food. GM free, organic. I don't know if it's organic. Hexane free and stuff. That smallholders range stuff. And that's, yeah. There's quite a good price for it as well, I think. And she eats it, so yeah, that's all good. Yeah, I think that's all I'll say about chickens. Why my chicken cup? I really want to use this, but I feel like I should make some fancy latte or something, or oh, I can make a chai latte in it and sit in the garden and be like, it's just, I think it's called an eco chic, designed in the UK for you and the planet, and it's all bamboo. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if you've got this far, well done. Check out my Patreon and my Ko-fi accounts. Thanks for watching this podcast, and check out my other videos too. Alright, have a great weekend. Bye! So this is the Jacob's fleece I just got from Charcut, and it's all in the fleece mobile. I'm going to see what I can use basically. Usually Florrie likes to help me, but just doing it on the dry, so she's in her own little chickeny place. Sorry, that was a bit mean. I'm going to show you more in a later video.